Hey, good morning, everybody. It's about 9:30 in the morning here in Florida. It's a beautiful day today. Not a cloud in the sky. Um, Starting to cool off just a tiny bit, which is ridiculous because it's the middle of October now. Uh, Still been pretty much in the high 80s to 90-degree range here. Uh, Hasn't dropped down yet. The humidity is starting to go down a little bit, which is probably why it feels a little bit cooler. I think it says 70, 77 out there at 9:30 a.m. But anyway, I'm going to be doing another tobacco review today. This is an interesting tobacco. I got this a little over a year ago. It's a Samuel Gawith Brown Number 4 Finest Kendal Twist. See if you can see it there. I think they used to call it Brown Rope Number 4. I can tell from the smell of this. To me, it smells just like a cigar. It definitely cigar-like. I can tell it's going to be a very strong tobacco just from the smell. I have a high nicotine tolerance, as any of you that see my other videos know. I don't mind smoking strong tobaccos, but this one I'm actually a little afraid of. I've smoked this before, but when I first got it, it was very wet. And I had a hell of a time keeping it lit or even getting it lit in the first place. And I read, I think, some reviews on tobaccoreviews.com that you had to really, really let this dry out. So it's been sitting over a year since I last tried this stuff. I do remember I had to mess around with it so much trying to keep it lit that I really just couldn't just sit back and enjoy it and see what it tasted like. It was just too much goofing around with it. But now it's definitely dried out. I'll show you what it looks like. I smoked through one of these ropes or twists. Here I just took it out of the tin. You can see it's definitely a true tobacco. I cut it in coins, like vertically with a very sharp knife, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like. And then I just rub it out. Now I can, because it's definitely drier, but I'll show you what it looks like here. That is the little coin that I cut and then rub out, and it looks like this. And it actually looks like cigar leaf to me, but it's very tightly twisted. It's very dense, so you have to put a little effort into it to cut it. I'm going to pack that into my little Bjarne Nielsen little Nordic type pipe here. Definitely I'm not going to smoke this one in a pipe with a large bowl, because as I mentioned, I can tell this is going to be a strong one. Typically not a morning tobacco for me. I'm having it with a strong cup of coffee. I was actually too lazy for some reason this morning to brew a coffee, so I got this Nescafe Classico, which it's crap compared to brewed coffee. I don't know where these commercials come from where they say, oh, you can't blind taste test, they can't taste the difference between this and fresh brewed coffee. Well, they must have people that have no sense of taste or smell taking their taste test, because it's crap. But yeah, I was a little lazy. I didn't want to brew it, because I actually just got home last night from a tactical canine deployment 3-day school in Central Florida. That actually was awesome. My dog did very well. I was proud of him. Learned a lot of new things, different ways of doing things. But at any rate, this doesn't pack super easy. Took me a while to pack the bowl, but I got it in there now. Light it up, and hopefully I won't be having to jump through hoops to get this thing lit or keep it lit. So we'll see. Still not super easy to light. See how it does after this charring light here. Not even going to tell you what it tastes like yet, because that initial char really wasn't much of anything yet. There we go. A little flame going there. Hoo-wee. That was a bad look on my face. It's just it almost took me by surprise. It's not awful, or that's not what it's just a reaction I had, I guess, but it's strong, and its full flavor doesn't begin to describe this. It's obviously taking light much better when it's dried out, so thank you whoever recommended you gotta get this drier than a popcorn fart for it to light. I have a little taste of my instant crappy coffee there. Try to wash that initial taste out so I can get a better idea for this year of what it truly tastes like. Who? Again, there was one other tobacco I reviewed. I think it was Dark Bird's Eye from Gawith, that if you blow it through your nose, it burns. This stuff makes that look or feel mild. It burned my nose. I think I've mentioned before, I like to, whatever you call it, retrohale or blow the smoke out through my nose. I don't inhale my pipes, but when I blow some smoke out of my nose, it gives me a kind of a better idea of what the taste is like. This is definitely not complex. If you enjoy cigars, you would love this. I'm not a cigar smoker at all. Very cigar-like. The room note, I can tell you, is horrible to me because it smells like a cigar. I can tell you my better half, she wouldn't like it. She'd be escorting me outside on the patio or yelling at me or something about this one. And she's pretty tolerant. She doesn't mind Latakia blend room notes. This one, definitely no bueno. It's obvious it's a good tobacco. I mean, you know, quality tobacco. Oddly enough, it doesn't yet feel as strong, I guess, in the nicotine department as I thought it would when I first smelled it. It's definitely a strong tobacco, but it's not. Of course, I've only just started smoking it. I know some smokes, when you get towards the bottom of the bowl, that's when the nicotine really hits you. That's probably going to be the case with this one. I can feel it a little bit, but it's not as bad as I thought. That Dark Bird's Eye I mentioned earlier is a strong tobacco. This is definitely on par with it, but I thought it was going to surpass it. It has gone out, as you can see. So it's still not really easy to keep lit, but Definitely not as bad as the first time I had smoked this stuff. It's got a very earthy, like I said, cigar-like taste to it. No tongue bite at all. I'm not getting anything like that, but it's full flavored is an understatement. Definitely doesn't have that kind of creamy mouthfeel or creamy, not taste, but buttery taste a lot of other quality tobaccos will give me. This does not have that. It's in your face, pure tobacco, no topping at all. Almost has a woodsy taste to it, if that makes any sense. Kind of like maybe if you smell a piece of wood, it has that kind of, if that smell could translate to a taste. I don't mind that. It's actually kind of interesting and different. This is completely different, by the way, than when I had smoked this a year ago. I didn't enjoy it at all. I actually have another tin of this that is unopened. I'm going to let it sit for a couple years. Try this one again. At least that's what I had planned to do before, because it was so awful then to me that I didn't want anything to do with it. But lately I've been on a kind of a kick revisiting some. I just did a review on Ennerdale Flake I haven't had in over a year, and some Scottish mixture from MacBaron. I did a review on that I haven't had in quite some time. This has got some spice going on, and I'm not really sure what tobaccos specifically are in this. It really doesn't say. It just says a brown number 4 finest Kendal twist, a product of the house of Samuel Gawith and Company Limited, Kendal, Cumbria, England. On tobacco reviews, it said it's twisted forms of aged dark brown leaf, enormous flavor, aroma, and strength, tamed with slow puffing. It is enormous. That is a spot on description of this stuff. It's huge. It's definitely, it's gone out again, so it does require some, you got to futz around with it, I guess, to keep it lit. I don't know of any other way that you could smoke this. I mean, it could be the way I packed the pipe. I just, as I mentioned, I rubbed it out from that little coin that I cut. It didn't really want to go in there because it was, now it's dry. But this stuff would be impossible, and I know it because I tried it, to smoke without drying time right out of the tin. I couldn't even get it lit. When I first opened this tin, gives you a good volume of smoke. You can't even see my face anymore. It's probably a good thing, an ugly bastard. But I actually kind of like this. Seems to have taken light quite nicely now. But as I mentioned before, it's got kind of a wood-like taste. Not like if you were chewing on a piece of wood, but how wood kind of smells. No sweetness at all, and it is one-dimensional. There's nothing complex at all going on here. Very straightforward, pure tobacco taste. Cigar-like in the aroma. I am starting to feel the nicotine now. Again, this is probably not the best pipe to smoke in the morning. You do need I would recommend drinking it or drinking it, smoking it with something to drink, something stronger, maybe the coffee, as horrible as that instant coffee tastes to me now. It's nice after, you got to kind of wash your mouth out. This stuff sits on the tongue and stays there. This might be good with, actually it would be good, I think, with just a little single malt scotch or something like that. Maybe some Kentucky bourbon would actually be good with this. But as I said, it's I'm kind of enjoying this, but I definitely would not. This would be something I would smoke very occasionally if you're just in the mood for some strong tobacco that, you don't mind if it kicks your butt or not. But I wouldn't really put this any stronger than like a dark bird's eye. That's very, very strong. I find Sillam's Commodore Flake to be a little stronger than the dark bird's eye, one of the strongest tobaccos out there in my opinion. Again, it's going out on me. Not nearly as bad as it was before, but Jesus. I don't like part of smoking, the relaxation of smoking a pipe for me is not having to mess around with it constantly. Just be able to sit back and enjoy how it tastes and all that. This is kind of a pain in the ass. Definitely not as bad as it was before, but take some fairly steady puffing to keep this lit. And I think that would be a huge mistake with this, because you overpuff this one, the nicotine's, and I can feel it, the nicotine will slam you. I mean, if I put this in that large bowl, one of my favorite pipes, it's like a London Export Briar pipe, I can guarantee you I would be feeling probably lightheaded right now. This little pipe is probably perfect for it. Great smoking little pipe, and the tobacco's not burning hot either. It's probably why it keeps going out. It's not heating up the pipe. I don't know, I just kind of have mixed feelings on this one. I really don't know how to rate it. It's not burning quite as badly now. I just let a little go out my nose there and it didn't make me jump back. It's definitely not a subtle tobacco. Like they said, an enormous flavor aroma. Yeah, I'll give it that. Definitely not my favorite tobacco, but I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind just picking this up every once in a while if you're in the mood for something really nothing complex or crazy, just a strong quality tobacco. Just plan on having plenty of matches or a lighter handy, and it's burning kind of weird. I don't know if you can see it in there. It's not really a gray ash. It's kind of just a dark, definitely not a fine ash. It's kind of a little bit chunky or whatever in there. And again, it has gone out. This probably means I should end this review. I'm getting long-winded again. But at any rate, if you want a strong tobacco, I'd probably give this maybe a 6 to 7. Nothing complex. Not bad. Something I would like to pick up every once in a while. Definitely not a everyday smoke. But if you don't mind strong tobaccos, or if you like cigars, you'll definitely like this. I would highly recommend this if you like cigars. If you don't like cigars, you're going to hate this stuff. you'd say it was awful. And I don't smoke cigars, as I mentioned, but this isn't bad. I'll probably try it again in another couple weeks and sit down and with a whole box of matches. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing well, and I'll see you the next time.